Hi, everyone. My name is Brendan Snyder. Thanks so much for joining me. We're back with another episode of the CD and Vinyl Guys. I got my co-host Chris Propfe here. Thank you so much for joining me.
Hello, everybody.
And so if you guys are new to my channel, certainly comment, like, and subscribe. But if you're new to Chris Propfe, I'm going to leave a link in the description below. Certainly head on over to his channel, check him out. He does very similar style stuff of what I'm doing here. If you enjoy my channel, I think you'll also enjoy his. So please check him out. For today, we got something special here. We're talking about Judas Priest and whether or not there's actually life after Painkiller, the classic 1990 album, the last one that was made. There you go. Chris has it with Rob Halford on it. I mean, an utter classic. I don't think that can be, anyone can deny that with it. But, you know, Rob Halford leaves the band and in comes Ripper Owens, who Chris and I both love him. We think he's a phenomenal singer, certainly did justice to Judas Priest and the band and so forth. And so we were going to start with that and go forward about life after Painkiller. So Chris, I'll let you take it away.
Yeah, you know what? I love Tim Ripper Owens. He is such a versatile singer. And for anybody who doesn't know, he has sung with the band Iced Earth, and he sung with
Rammstein.
So he's done a lot of stuff beyond Priest. But, you know, Halford leaves. What do? They bring in somebody who sounds a lot like Halford, but I almost feel like Tim has a harder edge to his vocals. And then they came out with Jugulator, which is a heavy freaking record.
Yeah.
Jugulator.
Yeah,
and
this one here is sort of got the blueprint of Painkiller. Now, as much as I love, you know, Tim Ripper Owens is pretty much how I refer to him. But this album here, while I like it, I think was nowhere near as good as Painkiller. They attempted to replicate it. And I think that was sort of the problem. It was a paint by numbers, in my opinion. I don't know how you feel about that album.
Yeah, it never grabbed me. There's something about it that I don't know if it's the production or the songs or what, or maybe I was just stubborn to the fact that Halford wasn't in the band.
Right.
It just never grabbed me as much as the next record.
Yeah. I mean, Demolition, this one here, you know, blew me away. I think this one is light years ahead of this one here. And we've talked about this before, you know, this one here, the band was signed, you know, they go from independent record label CMC to being signed by a major label again, Atlantic Records. So after Painkiller, you know, they were on the major label Epic. They're not. So you can kind of understand if the production was down, the album art quality, that sort of stuff is down. But they're back on a major here. And it's sort of like, this is 2001. So how did a metal band go back to being on a major label at that point without their main man, you know, Rob Halford in there? And I think it's to the quality of Tim Owens.
Yeah, and the songwriting on that album is amazing. I mean, it opens up with Machine Man, then goes into One on One, Hell is Home. I mean, those three songs are just killer. Bloodsuckers, like, I feel like Tim brought an aggression and an edge back to Priest. And again, I love Halford.
Right.
But it was almost like Tim kind of gave them a kick in the butt a little bit.
Absolutely. I mean, definitely, you know, younger guy coming in. We can argue whether whose voice is better, meaning, you know, musically or whatnot. And I would say, you know, Tim, at least he can like turn on a dime in his singing. He can start off singing one way and go into something else. So it's the more melodic singing, and he can get into a really dirty, gnarly sort of aggressive singing by the end and take it to a high scream and come back down kind of a thing. And Halford does a lot of that too. It's not that he doesn't, it's just, there's something about the way that Tim Owens does it. And
and for
on this album here.
Oh, definitely. And for everybody out there, Brendan and I were talking before, and we realized we both saw Priest on this tour, and we think
the same venue.
The same venue. Yeah.
This is before we knew each other, so that's kind of a kismet there to say that we were going to be friends later on, at least, and things of this nature.
Definitely.
Outstanding album. The big thing I noticed about this, you know, this album here was definitely of the 90s sort of a thing, sound, production, everything. This one here had a much more classic sound to it, almost like a Judas Priest of the 70s. And I thought that in and of itself should have just pushed this album over the top. I don't know whether the label didn't promote it or what happened with it, but it just kind of fell flat when it came out.
Yeah. And You know, and I think that was probably ushering in the next era of Halford coming back. Now,
Right.
what I want to mention here is that they've come out with 4 albums since Halford came back: Angel of Retribution, Nostradamus, Redeemer of Souls, and Firepower.
Yeah.
Now, me, out of all of those, I feel like Angel of Retribution and Redeemer of Souls are pretty much on the same level.
I
Nostradamus is their concept record,
mhm. And a
which I
double
think is
album
good.
at that.
Yeah, and it takes a few listens. It's not going to grab you right away. But
Yeah. Go ahead.
I just want to say Firepower
Mhm.
is my favorite out of all of those that have come out since Halford's come back.
I mean, look at Chris's shirt here. How could it not be Firepower, right?
Yeah, I saw him on the Firepower tour.
So, you know, my thing with Angel of Retribution, this one here is a commercial sounding album. You know, Chris and I just did another video about our love of Turbo Lover, the album that doesn't suck in our opinion, and we talked about the commerciality of it. And so I'll leave a link to that in our description as well. But Angel of Retribution, this album here, it's got some heavy moments on it, certainly. But if you listen to this here, it's definitely got a more commercial, a more rock feel to it than a metal feel, in my opinion. And so the follow-up, Nostradamus, it was the big concept album. They had never done one. You know, it's a double album. There was a lot of hype and publicity, but then they also decide that that's also going to be their last album. And when this album first came out, it didn't grab me. The song that they released, and I don't recall its name, I think it was Death, but it's a slow, dirgy song. And the video is animated. So there's no Judas Priest in it, and it's not heavy or speed or fast or one of the commercial style songs. It's more a dirgy. It's almost like stoner metal kind of sound to it. So it's very different. And I enjoyed it. I mean, Judas Priest is Judas Priest. I can listen to any and all of their albums, and I've loved all their different styles. But this album literally took about a year for me to get into. And I've talked to Chris about this before, where I actually did more like a playlist, and I edited out all the instrumental parts, just kind of down to 10 tracks. And I fell in love with that. And after really enjoying that, it made me want more. And I was so glad at that point there was a double album, and I started listening to it that way. But because I had absorbed the other songs individually, almost like singles on the radio or that kind of stuff, listening to it now has the peaks and valleys for me. And I think it is really good, but it just didn't suck me in or pull me in on it, kind of a thing.
I agree with you. And I'm glad that wasn't the album that they ended their legacy with, you know, because then they came back with Redeemer of Souls, which was more of a traditional Priest sound.
Right, exactly. And I think that's what this is. And that might be a little bit of why this one suffers, where like you're ranking it with, you know, Angel of Retribution, because they basically did a 180. They did this and they said, we have to make a Judas Priest record. So they put everything in that was characteristic of that. And I think it's a great album, but there's a lot of this that I listen to that I say, I've kind of heard it before, you know, sort of thing. It doesn't stand out. But
that and the other thing, I think there's too many songs on Redeemer of Souls.
That's true. What is it, 15 or 16?
Yeah, they could have
cut bonus tracks. Yeah.
Yeah, too many.
So yeah, that's where I think they fixed it with Firepower. And this album here, out of the 4 reunion out, well, not really reunion anymore, but the 4 albums post Ripper Owens with Rob Halford on it, I think that is their best one. I mean, this one here, shot in the arm, absolutely amazing, stellar in my opinion. And you know, I hear they're at least working on a new album. So hopefully this isn't going to be the last one. But if this were the last album by them, what a high note to go out on.
Oh, yeah. And I just want to show people how legit I am. There's my ticket for when I...
Look at that. Deep Purple and Judas Priest. What a lineup, man.
And I'll tell you right now, Priest opened for Deep Purple, which I thought was a little strange. But, you know,
it was
a great tour. Halford can still sing, too.
You absolutely can. And so there you guys go. You know, in our opinion, yes, definitely life after Painkiller. And even if you skipped over some of those albums, and in particular, the ones with Tim Ripper Owens, Jugulator and Demolition, we both highly recommend those. Phenomenal singer. That guy is out there in Charred Walls of the Damned and a whole bunch of other groups. He's got his own solo album and other projects and whatnot. So definitely keep an eye out for him. Check out some of these other Judas Priest albums. And if you've not checked out Firepower for some strange reason, we both highly recommend this, and we say go check this one out. All right, everyone. I hope you guys enjoyed this. And if you did, please remember to comment, like, and subscribe. Go check Chris out. I'm going to leave the link in the description below. Have a great night, and we'll talk to you all soon. Bye, everyone.